Skyrim was my first Elder Scrolls game, but I wanted to see more Tamriel, so I went back to Oblivion, and then to Morrowind. And when I finally reached Solstheim in Morrowind's Bloodmoon DLC, I was surprised at just how different it was from the Solstheim I knew in Skyrim. Obviously, things were bound to be at least a little different. This was pre-Red Year after all. But even outside of that, there were a ton of differences. Bloodmoon felt larger by comparison. It had a lot more Nord barrows and caves. Mind you, the barrows were smaller than the ones we see in Skyrim. But just looking at the list of locations for Bloodmoon, it really shows how much larger of a location it was. And because of that, I've always wanted to see a bigger, more content-filled Solstheim in Skyrim. Today, we're taking a look at a mod that sets out to do exactly that. In Morrowind's Bloodmoon dungeons, locations and unique items restored by Vendi Clarion. This comes as the author's first mod ever, and is still a work in progress. But even in its current state, it adds back several of Bloodmoon's dungeons, some of its unique gear, and other various callbacks to the Elder Scrolls 3. Many of these reprised dungeons are intended to be on the shorter side, with plans to include more as the mod's development continues. And alongside these returning locations come some new ones as well, including a new Imperial fort and Dwarven tunnel network. And given that we're bringing back some Morrowind-era locations, I thought, why not take a look at some Morrowind-era weapons as well, courtesy of the Buoyant Armiger Armory, which adds glass weapons in Morrowind style. One of my favorite weapons from the Ghost of the Tribunal Creation Club pack is Magebane, a glass greatsword in the Morrowind style, but I greatly prefer the model and texture that we get from this version in the mod. Links to everything can be found in the description below. Now, even though the new focus is on new dungeons, we're gonna get started in the Skull Village. And the reason for that is that some of the returning gear has been placed in existing locations in areas from the original version of Solstheim. Oh, it's all stealing though. Yeah, but we have the Helm of the Wolf's Heart, the Bloodskull House Key, and the Helm of Bearkind. Helm of Wolf's Heart, heavy armor, increased stamina by 25 points, sneaking is 25% better. Helm of Bearkind grants the wearer additional stamina and unarmed damage. Grants, not grants, but you know, minor thing. I'm gonna put that on. I just want to see how that looks. Which, I do believe that just about everything added is vanilla. Like all vanilla models, vanilla textures, and so on, but it still works. It's still new enough. It's still something new that we get. Okay, this right here is the Bloodskull House. It is kind of intersecting
Who's there?
with these homes. Wait, what's going on? Hold on.
Why are they hurting each other?
Who's hurting who? What's going on here? Oh my god, it's a frost troll. Make way, everyone, make way.
I will not.
The cooler Magebane is here to save the day.
That's the end of that.
In.
I don't mean to be rude, outsider, but I must get back to the village.
What would you guys do
What do you
without
need,
me?
my
Oh, Irsa's dead. Oh well. Alright, that's enough excitement for the village. Yeah, here's the Bloodskull House. A little crammed in the back right here. You think someone would notice that all of a sudden someone just decided like, oh, I live here now. Oh, wait a second, wasn't the key to the Bloodskull House locked away? I'm pretty sure it was. What's the outsider doing here now? Well, I can always blend in at least. I can just be like, hey, how do you do, my fellow skull? Skull boots, skull coat, hat, gloves. All right. The sword that we have in here is Solstheim. Undead up to level 21, flee for 30 seconds, not bad. Decent house, because we have, you know, Arcane Enchanter, we have an alchemy lab, we have an oven, bed, some storage. Not too shabby. Oh, wait a second. Oh, here we go. The Mace of Avar's Stone Singer. See, that's one of the Bloodmoon items that I recognize. That's one that I know off the top of my head. Alright, target takes 20 points of frost damage to health and stamina. Not too shabby. And I know that the mod adds, I want to say, like 30 skill books from Morrowind and from the Bloodmoon DLC. But because of how many books it adds, you know, it doesn't list which ones specifically on the mod page. Decent house, though. I do like it. If anything, I always thought it was a missed opportunity that we didn't get a home in the Skull Village. But we have quite a few locations from here, one of which should be, yeah, right here, right
so
outside
good to see you again.
the village, and that's what I want to start with. Here we go. Caves of Skull discovered. And this is actually a collection of 3 different dungeons from the original Bloodmoon expansion. So this is going to be a combination of the dungeons of Sejobel, Rimhull, and Lege, all kind of merged into one. Which I do believe this kind of runs below the village as well. Oh, don't you run, don't you run. Make way for cooler Magebane. You're all in trouble now. You know, someone should really warn the Skull. Oh, hello. Someone should really warn the Skull that they've got all these bandits and warlocks and everything right below their home. Once again, what would they do without me? Where would they be without me? Thariver, I'm tired of waiting. The hell with the Dark Brotherhood, the hell with the Morag Tongue. You're all I need. Find those damn slaves and bring them back. If they won't come back, kill them. Actually, just kill them. They're damaged product and I don't need the aggravation. You've never let me down before and I know you won't let me down now. Damn.
Did you hear something?
No, you didn't hear anything. That is quite a lot of enemies, even though it's mostly just skeletons, if I had to guess. You know, the Nords always make fun of milk drinkers, but if they drank their milk, they would not be falling apart this quickly. Skeletons would be a little tankier, as evidenced by skeletons back in Oblivion or skeletons in Morrowind. They were stronger. They didn't go down in a single hit. Necromancer's Journal, here we go. We managed to retrieve it. The Mantle of Woe from Legends is finally in the hands of our leader. But that's not all. We managed to uncover an ancient burial site. Arvelius ordered us to stay here, resurrect as many ancient warriors as we can, and wait for further orders. I'm really excited for what's about to come. Mantle of Woe I vaguely remember as another item from Bloodmoon. Although admittedly, I don't think I did every single quest in Bloodmoon. Although I did quite a few. Is this a dead end? Yeah, I think so. Like, I can see some skeletons in there, but I don't think I can get through this. Yeah. Well, the mod page did say that a lot of the dungeons are on the shorter side, so it seems like we're just gonna kind of have this thing of, oh, we can see further into them even if we can't really traverse it. The funny thing is that I remember really enjoying the Bloodmoon DLC, not even for the main questline. The main questline for Bloodmoon was but what I really enjoyed was the whole process of working with the Empire, working with the East Empire Company, and building up Raven Rock.
Here we go.
Weirdly enough, that was the most exciting part for me. Well, they definitely followed orders. They definitely raised as many enemies, as many of the warriors as they could. It's just not gonna save them. I do have a feeling that ultimately this dungeon pack, this mod, is going to work really well if you're playing it alongside the rest of the Dragonborn DLC. So, say for instance, you know, you just got to Solstheim and you're just beginning your adventures. I feel like this could work really, really well to give you a better, more filled out dungeon experience overall as you go through the expansion, as you go through the DLC. Sorry, bears. Sorry. Ring of Wizard's Fire. Destruction spells cost 22% less to cast. Very nice. A little bit of human flesh, not so nice. I hear you. I know you're here. Just give me a second. Today we found the perfect place to claim as our new home. It's an ice cave called Leggy, and it seems to be used by the local bears and wolves as some kind of den. They should be easy enough to get rid of. We've done it. The bears and wolves have been driven from the cave, and we've already started making ourselves at home. May the children's children enjoy the comfort of Leggy. One of those blasted bears got into the cave today. We drove him out, but he managed to make off with our dinner. It's a good thing I have my grandfather's enchanted ring, there you go, to keep them at bay. Bad news? You really didn't. These poor settlers really thought that they were going to be able to take over the cave and keep the wolves and bears out for good. I mean, I feel bad for them, but yeah, I feel like that was just, a really bad idea on your part. Oh.
The wise hunter is cautious. Always.
Alright, you know what? I spoke too soon. I guess one of them survived.
Allmaker, keep you safe.
Keep me safe, keep you safe. You're the one living with all the wolves and bears that I think killed your ancestors. Okay, we got an exit to Solstheim. I just want to see where it goes. Doesn't give us a new location, but it does drop us right by the Windstone. So yeah, so we went from the Skull Village down to the caves and then kind of worked our way all the way up to the northwest. Alright, and looks like that should be just about everything for the Caves of Skull. Which, once again, not a long dungeon, but I also like that we got, you know, a couple different things in here. We got a couple items. We had, you know, the notes talking about the necromancers raising the dead. We had the notes about, oh, the original settlers of Leggy and everything. So, some nice callbacks, some nice returning gear. Honestly, pretty good first dungeon to have started with. One thing to keep in mind is that this is still a work in progress, so there are several dungeons that will have been placed in terms of their exteriors, but they might not be accessible yet. So yeah, Glenshill's Tomb, I believe, is one of them. Locked, requires key. Yeah, we can't go in, we can't do anything in there yet, but it's more so that the author is kind of placing the exteriors down, letting us know where to expect all the dungeons in the end. Connor Flenge Barrow, I think this one might be locked as well. Yeah. I'm not being fair right now, am I? I'm just showing you, oh, here's all the dungeons you can't go into yet. But what I do like is that this is the more kind of classic Barrow door, classic Barrow entrance that we saw more so in the Morrowind era. Heading north just by the Cave Frostle, we're gonna have a couple new things. We've got this boat over here, very important, trust me, and we have Skyke. Now, this isn't so much a Bloodmoon thing, but it's more of a Morrowind thing, and I'm very, very happy to have him.
What are you staring at?
Oh, I wasn't expecting a voice, but you know what? That's probably the best voice type that you could have used for the Mudcrab merchant. What do you have for sale?
Take a look.
The Mudcrab merchant in Morrowind was my favorite merchant because they had the most gold out of any vendor in the game. So it would be cool if maybe this Mudcrab merchant was the same and maybe had a little bit more gold. But yeah, they just sell food, they just sell drink, because I vaguely remember the original Mudcrab merchant being a little bit of a drunk. Frequently asked questions. Okay, I think this is just the Mudcrab merchant lines from Morrowind. Yeah, I think this is just like all the dialogue from Morrowind, yeah. That's kind of cool though, that's a nice little inclusion then. I'm guessing that this is just the vendor chest, which you usually don't see in Skyrim, but you did. You could actually just steal everything from the merchants back in Morrowind. Now, what do we have in Skyg? I see necromancers. Little bit of stealth archer time. It's really just playing life on easy mode, isn't it? I know it was never really intended for Sneak Archer to be as busted, as overpowered as it became in Skyrim, but man oh man. I feel like they almost need to make it ridiculously strong, ridiculously good in the Elder Scrolls 6, just because at this point, now it's gonna be expected of them. If it gets nerfed, I think there might be riots in the street. You know what? I'll fight this guy, mano a mano. Arvelis, oh, I didn't get to see his name. The new Rogue Necromancer. The Rogue Necromancer, formerly known as Arvelis. He's a little stronger, so he's definitely intended as more kind of like a boss slash mini-boss character. As I brutally murder him anyway, without a care in the world. Journal of Arvelis. Mystic tuning gloves, really? And there it is, the Mantle of Woe. Significantly, that is not how you spell that. Increases magic reserves, their restoration rate and conjuration skill. And it allows you to have one additional minion, but decreases maximum health under sunlight. Okay. And here we go, another returning item, the Staff of Carnal Channeling. Reanimate a weak body to fight you. Well, fight for you, not fight you, for 360 seconds. 2 centuries have passed since my bloodline first tread these frozen wastes, driven by ambition, obsession, and no small measure of madness. Today, within the ever-frozen caverns of Skyg, me and my followers found him. There, entombed in ice, lays the corpse of my ancestor, previously known in these lands as Rogue Necromancer, hence why he's the new Rogue Necromancer. What a fool! Death does not bargain, not even with those who master its arts. Yet, staring into the frostbitten remains, I cannot deny a strange kinship. I too have felt the pull of forbidden magics, the sweet promise of secrets the divines would rather see buried. I have taken what remains of his journal, learned about the location of a powerful artifact, the Mantle of Woe, and today, within the crumbling maw of Rimhull, we found it. Just sitting there for the taking. I did this not out of love nor pity, but because his story will not end as a monument to failure. No, through me, our bloodline shall fulfill the promise he was too weak to realize. Let the others cower before the dark. I shall become it. Well, now you're dead and naked in a frozen cave. Funny how things work out. Don't mind all the Reeklings, just ignore them, they're not gonna bother anyone, I think. Over by Thirstmead Hall, we have another location. I think I might need to go underwater for it. Headwaters of Ignir River discovered. It's a minor thing and it can easily be fixed, it can easily be improved upon, but I do feel like some of the cave entrances aren't necessarily all that prominent, so sometimes it's not necessarily entirely clear where the exact entrance might be. Like, is it underwater? Oh, yep, alright, it's just right there. Yeah, that's something that can just be tweaked. That's something that could very easily be touched up and made a lot
Just
better.
hand over the gold. But did he listen? Oh no. They all
Can turn wood
Ooh,
to gold. Yeah.
he almost heard me. Well, I guess he did kind of hear me. Oh, and down he goes. So much for being sneaky, so much for being stealthy. Still, not gonna be too hard, not gonna be that much of an issue.
on you!
Yeah, Stealth Archer's gonna make all of this trivial, but I mean, it can do the exact same thing for the rest of the game. Oh! Alright, well, she dodged it, but it killed her friend. I am hoping that there is an exit on the other side. And maybe even another fast travel point, the same way that, you know, in Skyrim we would have 2 map markers, 2 fast travel points on opposite ends of, like, Brittle Shin and stuff like that. I'm well aware that I'm making this just super easy with being a Stealth Archer, but it's just, it's still so satisfying. Especially if you actually hit them. Like that. Yeah, I think I've reached the end, and I think this is gonna lead back outside then. It is, okay. Not a fast travel point, but we do have a little bit of, like, a little camp. We have a little bit of a setup. I don't think this was here before. Like, I don't believe this is vanilla. But really, what do I know? Usha, dead. Hunting bow. Ooh, a lot of empty skooma. I think I know how this guy went. My dear Usha, we can make it work. Do not worry about my father. He will grow to accept you in time. So will my mother. And my sister. Oh, Usha, I only ask that you write and let me know you're alright. I have convinced father to look past your lack of wealth and see you for who you really are. A skooma addict. Come back home. No need to worry. I'll be waiting for you, my love. Monessa. Well, that's a little upsetting. That's a little unfortunate. Do you think I can find Monessa? Do you think she's somewhere out there? Even if she was, I'm not sure I'd want to tell her what happened. Ignore all the Nyx sounds, but we just discovered Solvajord. Solvajord? Solvad? Yeah, I guess Solvajord would be the right way to say it. Nice and easy. Will I be able to go through this gate, or am I gonna need to go down and around? Oh, only a novice lock? Oh, that's actually really easy then. Oh, my favorite. Reeklings. Man, to this day, I still forget that, having the paralyzed perk on archery on your bow, on your crossbow, has the downside of it'll paralyze them before the bolt or arrow actually hits them, so sometimes you don't even deal damage to them, so you miss and then have to wait to get out of the cutscene, get out of the little animation, and then manage to hit them. I never understood why the Reekling death noise was so loud. It sounds like when they die, every single bone in their body just explodes at the same time. And it's kinda terrifying. Ugh, God, you and your bone explosions. Ooh, here we go. Severia's Imperial Sword. Let me take a look to see what the enchantment on that is. Creatures and people up to level 20 flee from combat for 10 seconds. Okay. Uh-oh. Hold on, I'll be with you in just a second. I'm gonna try and get a sneak attack on him, but I want to do it with the cooler Magebane. Ooh, there we go. Pretty good damage. I really liked the Frost Giants. If anything, I want to see them used more. So I'm kind of glad that we get to see him here now. Hunter's Amulet, two-handed attacks do 30% more damage, increase your stamina by 75 points, and carrying capacity increased by 50 points. I'm gonna wear that, because that'll be really good given that I'm already using a two-handed weapon. Quick little thing. It's one of those things where it's a nice little touch, but I like that, you know, his table is bigger, his chair is bigger because, you know, he's a giant. So, yeah, all of his furniture is kind of more giant-sized. Oh, I was hoping I could take his club. No, I'm not that lucky. And I think this passage here is just gonna kind of loop back around to the very beginning. Yeah, so if I wanted to kind of sneak up on them and take the Reeklings out another way, I could have gone that way, but the gate was not a hard lock, so it was easy enough just to kind of go straight through. Ulfgar's dwelling discovered. Okay, Ulfgar I know. Ulfgar I remember. Ulfgar was an ancient Nord, or rather was a Nord who had kind of been cursed to live a very long time. And was trying to find the gate to Sovngarde. Thought that there was like a physical gate, a physical entrance to Sovngarde. And if I remember correctly, the Nerevarine discovered that, you know, Sovngarde is reached, you know, by dying like a good death. And, you know, granted Ulfgar his wish. God, and I'm gonna forget, but Ulfgar had a weapon too. Like, Ulfgar had a specific weapon that I want to say is in Skyrim. Yeah, so this is just kind of what I was saying. He was cursed. He came to Skyrim and to Solstheim with the 500 companions. His companions were cursed. He was looking for the entrance to Sovngarde, and boom, there you go. There's a visitor. Maybe they know where to find the entrance. Well, they helped you in the end, didn't they? Okay, this gate does require a key, so we will need to go through in order to make use of that. Yeah, just some bandits, and it looks like some Reeklings as well. It looks like they put up a gate to try and stop the Reeklings from getting in. Oh, hi there. Yeah, the bandits said, hey, this is our half of the cave, and that's your half of the cave. They just split it down the middle. These poor bandits, like, just the sheer amount of disrespect I must be showing them by just picking them off so easily. Oh, hey, alright, you know what? That's fair. I kinda had that coming. Pretty powerful mage when you think about it, damn. Gate key, there we go. So I was going to need that. I was going to need a gate key in order to get in. Oh, look at the little baby bristleback. Oh, he's tiny. He's just a baby. I'm wondering if this is the same key that I need to open up the gate over by Ulfgar. Oh, that's a spear.
No.
Hey, Ulfgar. The good news is I'm pretty sure that you did reach Sovngarde in the end. Looks like we have another cave here. I'm guessing it's gonna be another underwater one because I don't see any actual cave. Galir the Mumbling's dwelling. Okay, I think this is it right here. Man, imagine having to swim in and out of your house every single time. Like, I would not leave home, ever. I would find a way to be fully self-sufficient. I'd find a way to not need anything from the outside world, ever. Also, he's got a whole-ass barrow down here, damn. Good for you, Galir. Oh, we got a dead researcher. Which means you probably have a note, a journal, some sort of literature lying around, like right here. Galir discovered a skull that spoke to him. The skull named herself Oddfrid Whitelip. Grab the skull, managed to fight with the Draugr, and make my way back. Now she's my only companion, and she can predict the future. Okay, so the Draugr came back, stole Oddfred back from him, and go figure, suddenly an Outlander showed up, the good old Nerevarine. Man, it's just funny because no one ever seems to know how important the Nerevarine was, just going around helping every single person that they found. Got a couple Draugr, and they didn't seem to notice me or hear me at all. Doors locked, requires a key. In that case, let me head down here. Oh, okay, this is also part of his dwelling then. Talk about a big home. We got a big Draugr right here. I'm gonna see if I can get a sneak attack. No, that's gonna be a no. He's gonna beat me with that club. It's funny because the club is way bigger than him. Like, that club is still giant compared to him. The Lord of Menace. Well, didn't seem that menacing to me. Balcony dwelling key, perfect, that's what I was looking for. Human flesh, not looking for that. The Savage Drauggr's Club. Everyone who likes going around to corner clubs should get introduced to a corner of this one. Oh, wait a second, is this... This has gotta be the skull. Yeah, there's no way that's just a coincidence. Well, Oddfred, it's nice to meet you. I'm wondering what we're gonna have down here. Oh, is this just gonna be his house? Is this just gonna be, like, his home? I think so, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really want to live in the the Draugr-infested ruin that we saw. Or really, it wasn't even Draugr-infested, it was one giant Draugr. But no, I wouldn't want to live there at all. Yeah, you know, minus all the skeevers, this is kinda nice, and it is also Draugr-infested. But yeah, he's got some crafting benches, he's got target dummies, enchanter station, a lot of alchemy ingredients. Like, I was making fun of Gellier for, you know, having to swim in and out of his house, but he's got it made down here. I would actually be curious if enemies were set to respawn here, because if they don't, if they're not set to respawn, this could be a really good player home. And I know we have one already with the Bloodskull house, but maybe you see yourself as a little bit more of a mage. Maybe this is the kind of home that you're looking for, you know, a little bit more so. So heading to Raven Rock, we have a couple things. One, we have a new manor right next to our house. Factor's Estate. Oh, it requires a key. Oh, so I'm gonna need to find that then. But we do have another room. We have another barrow right over here. And this one in particular is not a dungeon, is not a barrow from the Bloodmoon DLC, but is instead a new creation that the author made just as part of their, like, you know, first experience in modding, their first experience in dungeon design and stuff like that. Damn, you shouted behind you right at your friend? What was the point of that? Now, where exactly is this barrow taking me? Because it's not exactly just a barrow. Like, we went underwater, we're coming out into more of a natural cave. Oop. Wherever we're going, it's a little chilly. Oh. Wait a second, what? To Skyrim? I don't necessarily think it would be a quick walk. I don't think it would be that fast of a walk to walk from Skyrim to Solstheim. Ancient Nordic Passage discovered. Well, I did say that's one of the new dungeons. It's one of the new locations that they added, which isn't from Bloodmoon, and maybe not necessarily 100% lore friendly, but I can also see that being really useful if you wanted to get to Solstheim without triggering the Dragonborn DLC first. Now, according to the mod page to a map that the mod author made, you should be able to find the key to the manors somewhere around here, somewhere near Ashfall's Tier. I have not found it. I have not seen it. So not sure where the key to the manor is going to be, so I'm just going to be a little bit of a cheater and break in. I feel less guilty when it's a work in progress. It's like, oh, you know, it's not done. I can cheat. I can break things. I don't know if that's the right mentality to have, but it's the one that I got right now. Okay, so I guess this could be just another player home for us then. Empty chest. Oh wait, hold on. That's another cell? Seemed a little unnecessary for that to be its own separate cell. And then there's another one right there too. Yeah, you gotta condense those. You gotta make those just like one continuous house. Not that the loading screens are long, but it's not really necessary. Ooh. Alright, I like the magic candle. Colony status report. Albarot's saber. Skull of a Skull warrior. Man, I'm carrying 2 skulls on me now, aren't I? Let me look at Albarot's saber. Okay, no enchantment, but there you go, 34 base damage. But yeah, now I just have, what, 3 loading screens just to get back outside of a fairly small house, which just feels a little unnecessary. Like the house though, because I do really like that style of Raven Rock home. I actually prefer it to the one that we get with Severin Manor, if I'm being completely honest. We got a couple locations over by Tel Mithrin. Yeah, let's see what this mine is over here. Himmelhost Cave. Discovered. Oh, we got a barrow in here too. We got some bandits. We do have some
ain't this a surprise?
lifting dirt. But yeah, alright, so I was not expecting a barrow hidden in here just because of the fact that it was a mine, so that's a nice little surprise
True
then.
Nords never back down.
Oh, skeleton pirate. Was not expecting pirates down here. Oh, and a ghost too. Skeleton pirate captain. Well, captain, it's time for a mutiny. Sea Splitter, creatures and people up to level 10 flee from combat for 30 seconds. Silver Greatsword and the pirate captain's note. Near the mighty sun's great stone, in arch marks withered flesh and bone, and at the base you'll know sweet luck, if dig you will, straight through the muck. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward to me. Near the sunstone, then. The only problem that I ever run into is that when someone tells me near something, I'm just sitting here going, okay, how near are we talking? Like, what is the definition of near? Give me a radius. Give me, you know, city blocks or something like that. But I'm also just very directionally challenged in real life, in games, everywhere. It took a little bit of running in circles, but I think this might be it. Yep, Pirate's Chest requires keys, so you can't open it without the key. Alright, 5,000 gold, gems, pearl, rings. So nothing unique, but still not a bad haul. So yeah, right over there we have the Sunstone. Let me show on the map. This is north of the Sunstone and just kind of west-northwest of Nchardak. And making a bit of a loop back to Himmelhost, we have what's going to be kind of the last location for today, and I believe one of the biggest locations in the mod as well. This is going to be another one of the new additions. This is going to be another one of the unique creations by the author that wasn't in OG Bloodmoon. Because just looking on the mod page, I know this leads to a new Imperial fort, and I believe like a small little area in Vvardenfell even. So the author really likes tunnels to other landmasses. They have a tunnel to Skyrim, they have a tunnel to Vvardenfell. You would be walking a long time to connect those two. Like, that would not be a simple 5-minute thing. Once again, the Draugr just shouting behind him, not hitting me at all. Okay, fine. You made up for him, you hit me. Oh, oh god, we got a lot more than I thought. Oh. Man, anytime that I just see that many red dots on my compass, I get worried about enemy placement. But so far, everything's been fine. Oh, yep, I found him. I found all the red dots, and man, just a single word of cyclone just sends them all falling. I love it. It's like bowling. It's Skyrim bowling. Now, when I first came in here, I heard the Draugr shouting, which means that they were fighting someone already. So right now, all I've seen are Draugr and skeletons, but there's gonna be something else, or there was at least something else in here. Alright, well now I know what they were shouting at. They were shouting at Falmer and Chorus and... You know what? Thank you, because I would rather fight Draugr than Falmer. Oh, Nchardak Arkensthunk Tunnel. Yeah, this is gonna be what leads us to Vvardenfell, isn't it? Is this kind of like a dwarven rail system? Is this meant to be like a dwarven minecart track of sorts? That's what my mind is immediately going to, just with how it's kind of laid down. Yep, I think it is. I think that's exactly what it's meant to be. It's maybe not a minecart, but it's like a little train. Yeah, these tracks kind of went in every direction. They're ruined, they're destroyed. I'm never going to be able to ride a dwarven train now, but let's just see where it goes. Yep, there it is. Vvardenfell, West Gash. I personally feel like it would have made more sense to have, like, a ship that took us to Solstheim, or from Solstheim to Vvardenfell, rather than having like an underground tunnel. But that's very well just me being picky, as I always am. Abandoned Kwama egg mine, can't get in, need a key. You wouldn't happen to have it, would you? No. No, you don't. Friendly?
Is someone there?
That's gonna be a no. I was hoping that you might be like a Red Ring guard or something, but I'm not that lucky. Now, if I'm reading things correctly, I believe that the Imperial Fort here and this Vvardenfell section might have actually been the first things they made, and that the Solstheim stuff was what they designed a little later on. Oop. Fortunately, no one detected me. But yeah, immediately... I'm hoping that this comes across in the nicest way possible, but yeah, this to me right here reads as, oh, this is someone's like earlier attempts at modding. It's something I see very, very often in people's very first mods as they're figuring stuff out. The multiple statues, some of which don't necessarily make sense being together in the same place. Yeah, like, oh, here's Debella, here's Mara, here's more Debella, there's two. Oh, don't you hear me? Shh, nothing to see, nothing to see, you don't see me. We have the Isgor statue, we have the Malakath statue. It's like, why? And why does this guy have Croesus? Yeah, they definitely detect me.
Come here.
Or at least I was pretty sure they detected me. I just don't know if they necessarily cared at first. Most of the standing stones in here just kind of like in miniature form, in desk form.
Time to die.
Yeah, there's our Mephala, no, not Mephala, Vermina statue. Yeah, it's an Imperial fort. I
just hand it over, but did he listen?
definitely feel like it's odd to have some of these here. Superior Cavalier of... Hold on, what was your name? Of Duper House. Bow before the cooler Magebane. Alright, nothing unique on him. I know, I ran right past you, didn't I? How rude of me. And we got a Nocturnal statue, too. Assignment 2, Superior Cavalier of the Thug Fort. Okay, so they knew about the Dwemer Tunnel, and they were looking to go through it to find a way to traverse it safely. Got it. Don't disappoint me or Hades will shout you apart. When he says shout you apart, he doesn't mean literally, right? Hello? Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's Hades. Oh, I found him. Hi there.
Here we go.
He does actually shout. I was not necessarily expecting that. I also thought he was gonna be a little stronger than that. Yeah, I'm slowly making my way towards you. Damn. For Dremora armor, or Daedra armor, I thought he was gonna be a little stronger. Moonsugar, Skooma, Daedric Sword, Daedra Heart. Yeah, I hear them all yelling. I hear them all very, very mad at me, but I'm not really threatened by you guys right now. I'm not really all that worried about you. They're not even in here. They don't even know where I am. Oh, there you all are. I'm sorry to the dog. I'm sorry, Alex Battlehound. I don't like doing this either. I'm not happy about it either. Oh, Joe Hammond. Damn. They named the torturer after Ben Hammett, the mod author, and then just had me kill him. Damn, learning how the author really feels about Hammett, I guess. This is going to be a shorter review, just for a couple different reasons. The mod is still a work in progress, and it serves as the author's first foray into modding and dungeon design, with the mod even having the for fun tag over on the Nexus. I was very happy with this. Many of the dungeons felt like natural add-ons to Solstheim, with others giving me a bit of a Morrowind feel too. Some of the dungeons that haven't been designed yet still have exterior locations. That way, you can still discover them and have their fast travel points unlocked, but you won't be able to enter them until a later date. I think this serves as a great way to bring back some Morrowind-era loot, having some placed in existing locations and others in the reprised dungeons. There were good callbacks to some Morrowind characters in Quest 2, with Ulfgar's journal about wanting to find Sovngarde, or Gelir seeking help in order to find the skull. I will say that my favorite locations were their interpretations of the original Bloodmoon dungeons. So, personally speaking, the tunnels to Skyrim and Vvardenfell don't work quite as well for me, but that might very well just be a personal preference. I almost feel like those two locations could have been spun off as their own mod, as they don't entirely fit the theme for the rest of the dungeons. Fort Darius in particular stands out as it suffers from the random statues and standing stones that don't really make sense, which is something that I usually see in people's earlier works, as they're still getting the hang of level design. I think this gives you a lot more to do and to find across Solstheim, and it'll work really well if you're playing it alongside the Dragonborn DLC. Even with these new items being vanilla assets, I was really impressed with this being their first mod, and I look forward to future updates. I said I wanted more Solstheim dungeons, and as far as I'm concerned, this definitely delivers. But that's gonna be all for today. As always, thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, check out the Patreon or the YouTube memberships, both of which get access to my official Discord server, as well as early access to most new videos. And if you'd like to watch me play something other than Skyrim, while still talking about Skyrim mods from time to time, make sure to check out the streams at twitch.tv/0periodproductions. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.